Well, it's hard to say what you really tell a daughter that turns out to be the rocket scientist of the family. But I think I did tell her, teach her to love the sky. Whether it was kites on the beach, or the hot air balloon ride I took her on when she was 10, or the, when you take the dry cleaner bag and put the balsa wood and light candles and it floats up. Yeah, that was fun too. And I took her to Stonehenge. And that might have had something to do with her choice of becoming eventually an astronomer. But the math was hers. And in high school, she broke her toe in a play practice, and that meant she couldn't be the high jumper anymore, which meant she got to be the team statistician. Now, I taught graduate statistics, and she later told me that's pretend math, so she got over that one. She also did an honors thesis on the mathematics of facial beauty, which was interesting. I thought she might become a mathematical esthetician. But the real ringer was she was the only kid in the history of Palmyra High School, since or before or since, that actually, when you have to calculate the trajectory of your little cannonball and put a bucket at the other end of the field, she caught hers. When I asked her why she thought that happened, she said she did the calculations right. And I said, you don't think anyone ever did the calculations? And she just said, no. Well, the real nub of the story is when we're watching Apollo 13 with my two kids. I mean, it's a great movie. That's the one with Tom Hanks as Jim Lovell saying, Houston, we have a problem. But it also has Ed Harris as the Houston coordinator, having the people do the math, having separate teams do the math. When the movie ended, I remember saying to my kids, we will all remember years from now when Johanna said, Daddy, I want to be one of the ones that can do the math. Now, in fact, she didn't say that, and she's given me shit for years after that for claiming that she did, because she didn't. But it just captures her so perfectly that you can't give it up. I think her real movie was Contact, the one about Ellie Arroway, who's, doing Carl Sagan's movie, and it's interesting. A lot of her astronomer friends watch it all the time. So she goes into astrochemistry, not astrophysics, but astrochemistry. But at American University, they only have physics. She's, as a sophomore, is a NASA intern. She's president of the math club. And I say, Johanna, you're a physics major. How come you're president of the math club? And she said, Daddy, the math majors are all guys, and they're neither motivated nor organized enough to run a club. She started the Pi Day at American University, and I sort of, like an idiot, said, well, when's that? But I do remember when it wasn't just the math club, it was what she took. She was going to be taking a class in partial differential equations, so she's practicing over the winter break, sitting on my couch, writing her equations in ink. And my son and I are sitting behind her going, she thinks they're real. She thinks all those symbols on the page mean something. And she just turns and says, you idiots, shut up. So she wasn't an idiot, but she's taking partial differential equations, research in quantum mechanics, organic chemistry, and a couple of other classes. And I'm going, Johanna, what are you doing? You're going to be competing with pre-meds. Organic chemistry is, it ends most of their lives. And she said, Daddy, I blew away the pre-meds in Calc 2. I'm going, oh, okay. And she ended up being the teaching assistant for organic chemistry as an undergraduate. So she did pretty well. The Carnegie Institute, actually, after she graduated, sent her to Chile to see the Magellan telescopes down there and to do some observations from them. This is, as a 21-year-old. So she's a physics graduate student in Tucson, and she gets an NSF grant, works on the Kepler project, does all this stuff, gets hooded and tells me not to come, that nobody goes to a hooding. But I catch her lecture at Cornell University at the 6-story high space sciences building. Most institutions don't have astronomy at all. They have a space sciences. This is Carl Sagan land. And she is amazing, gracious. She's got just this amazing aplomb to take really hard questions and sort of fire them back at people. So it just blew me away. I was so impressed with the young woman that she was turning into. Unfortunately, I don't get to see her very much. She's going down to the Magellans again. She's giving a talk in Portugal. She's taking an oxygen mask up to the top of some mountain in Hawaii to do observations. My wife and I are going out to California for a vacation this fall, and I thought I might have a chance to see her at Pasadena. She said, "Daddy, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be in Washington, meeting at the Carnegie Institute, talking to people at NASA, and running the Marine Corps Marathon for the 4th time." I said, "Are you going to be on the Mars landing?" "Daddy, I just want to be one. Let's do the math."